I seem to remember just a little bit under 2 years ago with this very channel. I came on here and tried to warn the Bills fans, the hashtag Bills Mafia. Ooh, like that's going to intimidate anybody. We're a mafia full of non-playoff attending fans every year. That's the mafia. I tried to come on here and warn you. Rex Ryan was a piece of crap. I tried to come on here and tell you to not buy into the bullshit. I tried to warn you about how the media was trying to sell you this BS bill of goods about how this ass clown was going to be some magical type of savior for Buffalo, and if all else fails, get them into the freaking playoffs. I tried to warn you. I tried to educate and enlighten you to not buy into the crap. If you were a team where at that point in time, after the 2014 season, you had a Doug Marrone team finish 9-7, meaning you hadn't made the playoffs in 15 seasons, the last thing you needed to do was bring in a failed head coach from another team within the same division that hadn't made the playoffs in 4 consecutive seasons. But lo and behold, Doug Whaley, in all of his infinite genius and wisdom, decided we should do just that and bring in Rex Ryan. And gee, I wonder how that shit worked out. Now, the ironic thing is I've recently acquired some type of Jeff Jinx, where I'll do a video about a head coach and then they get fired. I literally recorded a video about Jeff Fisher being fired, and as soon as I uploaded it, like instantaneously, Jeff Fisher had been fired. Then I did so with Gus Bradley, and within a week he was fired too. And today I was going to come on here and do a video about how Rex Ryan needed to be fired. But lo and behold, the Pagulas, they didn't want to wait for the jinx to come into full effect. They said, no, we've seen enough of this piece of crap. It's time for him to go. And go he needed to do. So for all of you Bills fans, first and foremost, that tried to buy into the bullshit, that tried to shit on me a little less than 2 years ago, question me, how dare you? How dare you, sirs and ma'ams? One important question to ask now, tell me how my ass tastes. Because I told you idiots this was going to happen. I told you he was a piece of crap. I told you he wasn't going to get you to the fucking playoffs. And lo and behold, he didn't. Imagine that. Now, surely some in the media are going to come out and try to make excuses like they always do for Rex Ryan. Because ultimately they like Rex Ryan. He gives them content, things to talk about. He's genial, you know, he likes to give sound bites. He talks to the media. He enjoys the attention. That's the problem. Rex Ryan enjoys too much of the attention that comes from his press conferences and interviews than the attention that would come from actually winning football games on a consistent basis in the National Football League. And all the while, you can sit there and hear these things talking about how players love to play for Rex Ryan. Well, just because players love to play for him is not a good reason that the guy needs to be an NFL head coach. There are plenty of coaches over the years, and I've seen it in Chicago with Dick Duran and later on Lovie Smith. The players love those guys. They fought hard for those guys. They worked hard for those guys. And most importantly, they played hard for those guys. But at the end of the day, you're in a results-driven business. It is about wins and losses. We're not measuring effort and participation here, you nitwits. And as a result, if you don't produce, you're out of a job. It's that simple. And when it comes to Rex Ryan, it's too many quotes, too few W's. Frankly, I can't remember when a more inconsequential coach was given more attention than Rex Ryan in this moment in time. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at what he's done in Buffalo. You know, you're talking about what, 8-8 finish last year. Ta-da, out of the playoffs. So the new owners of Pagula family come out, Pagula family, whatever the fuck, who cares? They sit there and come out and Terry basically says, it was playoffs or bust this year. And then, of course, Rex Ryan proceeds to lay a 7-8 egg through 15 weeks. Now, mind you, this team was at 4-2 at one point in time in the season and looking like they could potentially be in the mix for a wild card position. But lo and behold, Rex Ryan sunk his grips into this team, nepotism running amok by hiring his brother Rob, who deserves no defensive job in the NFL of any level, of any kind. Yet he brings in his brother to freaking be his defensive coordinator. Well, good. Now that they were both in the same spot, they could both get fired like they did, and they could both ride their tandem bikes fat asses on out of here. This is ridiculous. The fact that anybody ever tried to justify or excuse Rex Ryan as being some type of qualified NFL head coach was absurd. To sit there and think that he was going to be the magical cure to all the ills and ails of the Buffalo Bills organization was even more ridiculous. What in the bluest of blue fucks would make you think that when you got to see him 6 seasons before in your division at least twice a year as the coach of the Jets? You saw how much of a freaking train wreck that was. And if you want to sit there and say blame the organization and poor talent evaluation, okay, well what the hell made you think Buffalo was any different or any better? They're worse. At least the Jets have occasionally made the playoffs since 2000. The Bills have not. Unbelievable. Rex Ryan shouldn't be anywhere near an NFL head coaching job ever again. Frankly, I don't even know if he should be a defensive coordinator anywhere because he came into a situation where you were supposed to be strength on strength, right? A Bills defense that was borderline elite in 2014 under an offensive-minded head coach, mind you, Doug Marrone, over the last 2 years regressed mightily under Rex Ryan, especially at key points in times. Too many games giving up 30-plus points to be an elite defense. So the one thing he was supposed to be able to do, add strength to strength, he made a weakness. Let him go be a fucking color commentator for college football games. Let him go watch his son play at Clemson. Maybe have him be a studio guy for the NFL. He'll probably actually be really good for that job. You know, if you look at it honestly, he could probably make himself a lot of money doing that and make quite a name for himself, being some type of NFL television personality. And that's what he's ultimately cut out to do. Not everybody's cut out to be an NFL head coach. Rex Ryan, hopefully once and for all, has proven that he's not cut out to be an NFL head coach. And hopefully Bills fans have learned the error of their ways. And do I accept your apologies? No, I don't accept your apologies. I tried to tell you. I tried to warn you. It was staring you smack dab in the fucking face. You chose to be isolated in your little freaking bubble of stupidity. Well, sit there and live in your bubble of stupidity, talking about how that was a forward lateral. The Music City Miracle was a penalty. It was a foul, and you shucks, and we got screwed. Bring back RoboShack. Bring back RoboShack. Yeah, that's the Buffalo Bills for you. I just can't believe they haven't fired the general manager that hired the incompetent fucking Rex Ryan to begin with. Now Doug Whaley is going to lead the head coaching search, apparently. So the GM who sucks, who hired the head coach who sucks, will now be able to hire another head coach that sucks. Congratulations, Bills fans. Another few seasons to come with no playoff appearances.